Hey everybody, this is George Brasher with Shakedown of Thunder Sports, and you're about to watch the two Irish brothers. Go Irish.
Tyree. Here's Tyree with the lane. Tyree! Whoa! Can he get there? Tyree at the 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Notre Dame! Woo! 98! Big ones!
How's it going, everyone? I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And together, we make up the Two Irish Brothers Show. You guys all know the drill, but we're going to say it anyway. Hit that subscribe tab in the bottom right-hand corner. Make sure to like or dislike the video to help with the algorithm. And down below in the description box is every place you can find us on social media. But also, check out our friend Ryan's channel over at YouTube, Week Zero Productions. And also, this is the last opportunity for you guys to take advantage of our friend Phil Rizzuto's Notre Dame Boston College package along with the Colts and Eagles for this upcoming weekend. It's the one on the right, as you see on your screen, from Philly Sports Trips. So this is your last opportunity. And Phil, if you're watching, man, we were so glad to be able to promote this trip for you. So hopefully all you guys that have interest, make sure to take advantage of that opportunity. So with that said, Ben, the Navy debacle is behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Next hurdle, and that is the Boston College Eagles, which we should also mention that the two of us will be there together in person at that game.
Yes, we will. Two Irish brothers will be in the building.
Yes, we are invading South. Okay, I'm going too far. We're not invading squat. But no, we're gonna try to be there with our friend Vince, whose trip we've helped promote, and we're gonna be braving the cold to watch this game. And you know, Ben, I just realized something. When we went to the Purdue game last year, we never got that video up.
No, we didn't, did we?
No, I feel so
We
terrible.
sure didn't.
We still got the footage from it. I still got some. I know you have some, and well, anyway, we'll work on that. But just to let everybody know. And I don't know if we'll do anything Friday or not. Maybe we'll try to do something special for you guys the night before. What do you say, Ben?
It's always in the cards. You never know.
Like going live, making a video, who knows? But coming into this game, you guys know we got to do our thing here. We got to talk about it. So Irish sit 7-3 right now.
Yep.
Obviously, we're filming this video on Sunday, so we don't know what the playoff rankings are yet. But we'll just have to wait and see on that.
Well, the bigger thing for this week, the bigger thing is we don't know what the quarterback situation will be for Boston College.
Yes.
And that will be a huge focal point and focus this week for not only Notre Dame, but Boston College, because Bill Dracovic plays for the Boston College Eagles. We all know him very well. Thank you very much. And he could play. He could not play. And it's senior day. So there's a lot of things with this game, and it makes me very nervous, as I said in the last video. It makes me very, very, very nervous, this game does. So we will see. So, yeah, like Sean said, Sunday. We film Sundays, unfortunately. That's just how the work schedules work. So we won't have the information at our fingertips. But Boston College is coming off a huge upset. Let's not take them lightly. It is
they took down the
North Carolina State.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
I don't know what to make of this team. You know, you look at the numbers and you look at their record and you go, okay, this is a team that Notre Dame should have their way with. This is a team that Notre Dame should beat easily, but we're Notre Dame fans. We know better.
This season has been this is the unfortunate way the season has gone. We played great against the major opponents on our schedule, but when it comes to the lesser opponents, we've either struggled or we've lost those games. Yeah. We're coming off one last week against Navy that we couldn't put away. We ended up on the short end of the stick against Marshall and Stanford, 2 games that we should not have lost. Yeah. So I don't know, dude. I really don't know. All I know is this. We've got to play a full game of football here. We should be taking advantage of these teams that really we have no business losing against. And
Yeah.
I know that the game may not be played on paper, but we have the better talent than Boston College. We have the experience. And despite Phil Dracovic being their quarterback and whether he's going to play or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, granted, if let's say he does play, let's say he does. I don't exactly know the severity of his injury. I don't think it was season ending, but they had been sitting him.
Yeah.
That much is a fact. But despite the fact how things ended with him at Notre Dame, I don't know if it was extremely a hostile breakup, but it doesn't matter the situation. We should have no problem handling Boston College.
Sure.
But unfortunately, we've had that trend this year of having to worry about these lesser opponents, and that's not a feeling that any Notre Dame fan should have.
Yeah.
Or of any team for that matter. You should take care of the teams that you're supposed to.
Yep. And we can't forget, I mean, historically, Boston College plays Notre Dame tough. I mean, historically, there have been multiple championship seasons that Boston College has played spoiler.
Yeah, they've ruined a lot of seasons, not just not just championship seasons.
So, I mean, it's Boston College. You can't take them lightly. I mean, that's all there is to say. The awesome part is, we have Estime that is, chasing the 1,000-yard rushing season, and I think this Boston College game could get him very close if we can take full advantage.
Oh, absolutely.
He's at 711 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. So he will, in my opinion, I would hope that he would hit the 10 touchdown mark this season. That would basically be him not scoring in the next 2 games.
It's a safe bet he's going to.
But, 711 yards, you need a 200-yard game and a 100-yard game. So I think the 200 yards could come against Boston College, but maybe that's asking a lot.
Well, and looking on the schedule, and I know this probably doesn't say much because you really can't say anything, but looking at Boston College's schedule, with Navy at least, they've had three or four games that they could have easily won. Boston College, all their losses except for one have been pretty ugly. Yeah. And that one loss was the 1 point loss to Rutgers.
Yeah.
Other than that, all their losses have been pretty bad.
Yeah, and all the numbers for them are lopsided. I mean, in the favor of the opponent. They average 19 points a game. They give up 28. Say a lot. I mean, they just the numbers of rushing and passing and all that just lean heavily in the favor of their opponent. So we should take full advantage. But it's Tommy Rees, and I don't know what to say.
I hate these. There's been so many question marks coming into each game, and it drives me nuts. But you know what? We'll treat this game just like we do every other game. So let's take a look at the numbers here. So you have Phil Dracovic, who was their starter for the season, but obviously he's out with an injury, status unknown for next week. But we'll talk about his numbers, and we'll talk about Emmett Moorhead's numbers, the backup quarterback for BC. So Dracovic, not too shabby on yards, 1,711 yards. Almost 60% completion percentage, 11 touchdowns, but here's a big key. He's very interception prone. He's thrown 8 of them this year.
Yeah.
And Emmett Moorhead, who, if I was a betting man, I would bet on him to start against Notre Dame this week. He's had 885 yards on 77 out of 132 passing, good for a 58.3 completion percentage. He's had 8 touchdowns and 3 picks in the time that he's been the starting quarterback and has seen some playing time. But one thing I've also noticed, looking at the numbers here, Dracovic was sacked 25 times. Moorhead so far has been sacked 14 times. So that's a key factor right there, is something that our front seven has to take advantage of.
Very bad offensive line for them.
Yes. And then going down for the basics, the basic offensive positions here, their leading rusher is Pat Garwell III, 296 yards on 99 carries, 2 touchdowns. It's just being honest with you, Ben, these numbers look pretty atrocious.
Oh yeah, I mean, you look at you go, okay, he's rushed for 296 yards. You go, okay, well, he must not played many games. No, he played all 10 games for Boston College. So
behind him is Alex Broom, 199 yards and 41 carries, 1 touchdown, and then I will say this, the one positive for them is receiver Zay Flowers, 921 yards on 67 carries, 10 touchdowns. He's clearly their go-to guy.
Yeah.
And behind him, Jalen Gill, wide receiver, 371 yards and 24 catches, no touchdowns. Behind him is a familiar name, George Takis.
Yep.
Used to be with us. Pretty sure I'm thinking of the same guy. Because I don't think that's a coincidence. 248 yards, 24 catches, 1 touchdown. Joseph Griffin Jr., 5 touchdowns, 18 receptions, 222 yards. So it's just been, I would say the receiving core has been their most consistent.
Well, yeah, it's a one-dimensional offense. They can pass, and they can pass, at will if you give them the opportunity. We remember Flowers from last year. He played against us last season in BC. He gave us fits. George
Takis.
Did Notre Dame, so familiar face there along with Dracovic. Will be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, this is a one-dimensional offense. If we stop this passing game, they shouldn't do anything against us. This should be an easy victory. But I've said should one too many times, and we know what's been going on this season.
And, it's funny. We could just stop the video and say that unpredictable season. Don't know what's going to happen against BC, which really, I mean, technically you don't know anyway. But yeah, you're right though. I hate using the word should also, because with all the talent on this team, it's like, I don't want to say this has been a wasted season, but to this point, I want to say the team in a way has underperformed.
Oh, the team is obvious. I mean, of course they've underperformed. I mean, that's extremely obvious when you beat up on Clemson the way you did and then lose to Marshall at home.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
so.
Well, what I'm saying is there's been like people like for example, people have ragged on Drew Pine this year. A lot of our fans have ragged on him. He has actually had a pretty damn good season if you look at the numbers. But it's just, yeah. There's been so many good things what I'm saying is there's so many good things that have been overlooked that people aren't paying attention to, but it just seems like it's only the bad that sticks out. So I guess underperforming would be an appropriate term.
Yeah. But I mean, this is the game where it's senior day. It's special. This is the game where you take full advantage of the moment. You take full advantage of it. You beat up on Boston College. I'm not saying look ahead, but you beat up on Boston College. You use this game as a tune-up. You get ready for Southern Cal, and let's go bowling. So, yeah, I expect a big game from Notre Dame. I expect, emotions to be high. I think Freeman's going to light a fire under these guys' butts because it was a very big letdown against Navy, even though it is a victory. You could tell that Freeman was frustrated.
Oh, you could. So, he even said himself in the press conference that everybody was frustrated.
So I think this week is if you have a good comparison, I think this is Bama. This is the way Bama plays. Bama has a letdown. They don't play the way they want to play, and then the next week they just blow their opponent out of the water. I think that's us. I seriously think that. So.
And based on whatever the rankings are once they come out on Tuesday, because you guys know we film on Sunday, we drop it on Wednesday. We don't know what the rankings are at the time of recording this, but if depending on what the rankings are, we should be pissed off at that too, because we could not move a spot. We could only move one spot. We could drop back. We don't know at this point in time, but be angry regardless. You almost let one against Navy slip away. So you guys know what you can do. And I'm referring to the team here. They know what they can do. So they better go balls to the wall in this one and just kick the loving crap out of BC. And they better, because especially since the fact that we're going to be there, and I don't pay for losses.
Yeah.
So with that said, Ben, we've covered the matchups. Score prediction time, man. And since you weren't here last week, you take the honors.
I am going to say Notre Dame 42, Boston College 10.
Oh, interesting. I'm going to say, because I think we'll give up some points, and I'd like to think a lot of it would be in garbage time, but I'm going to say Notre Dame 45, Boston College 21.
I dig it.
But of course, if it was like 45-10 or even a shutout, I'll take that hands down.
Oh, I take a shutout any day.
So we go out there on senior day, we get a big win. That's how I see it, and that's what I expect to see.
I agree.
So with that said, there you go, guys. Last home game of the 2022 season. And with that said, I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And as we always say, good night, God bless, and go Irish.
Go Irish. Beat Boston College.